everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laura Beltonba, and spring has sprung, and with that, for today's episode, we're bringing you some fun and freshness with NL Sketchfest and the Avalon Dragon Boats. So sit back, relax, and find out what's going on this year. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Andrew Tremblett, who is the festival director with NL Sketchfest, and down in front a little bit, who is joining me to talk about NL Sketchfest. Andrew and...
Hi, how are you?
Hi. You brought a friend?
Yeah. This is my friend and Sketchfest mascot.
Okay.
Dickie Bird.
Dickie, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Good times.
Sorry, they might smell a little bit. Yeah.
I was wondering.
It's the garbage.
I was wondering what that perfume was. It's a pleasure to meet you, Dickie. Andrew, for our viewers who might not be familiar with NL Sketchfest or with Dickie, can you give us a little bit of info about who you folks are?
Yeah, so we're a festival here in town. We're Canada's newest sketch comedy festival, and I think comedy festival, I think in general, right, Dickie? I think so. And yes, sorry, Dickie wants me to say that we're this year from May 13th to 18th at the LSPU Hall in downtown St. John's. So we do sketch comedy. If you're not familiar with sketch comedy, or your viewers, sketch comedy is kind of like live theater that takes kind of scenarios, and it's very much Cogco, very much Wonderful Grand Band. This hour is 22 minutes.
All right.
And we do kind of scenes that people find just funny and hilarious, do weird characters and funny songs, and yeah, so we're hosting a big number. I think it's, how many is it, Dickie? Is it 27, 22?
I think Dickie's looking for fingers.
Yeah. It's about 20-odd groups that we're hosting this year from across Canada.
Okay, so it's not just, it's happening here in Newfoundland and Labrador, St. John specifically, but the guests, the acts are Canada-wide.
Absolutely, yeah. We do, there are several around North America that they do, and ours, like I said, started last year. And yeah, we have groups from Toronto, we have groups from Washington, D.C., and of course a bunch of local troops. Yeah. So
last year was your first year.
Yes.
What are people going to be more excited to see this year?
Yeah, so new lineup.
Okay.
With some familiar faces. This year we have, so we have a new initiative with the festival. We have Andy Jones this year. Yeah, I know.
Andy's a local celebrity.
Yeah, Andy's the best. Andy's doing 60 minutes. Yeah, I think, is it a full 60? Yeah, full 60-minute set. What? Dickie? What?
Oh.
Yeah, see, Dickie wanted that slot. Dickie wanted Andy's slot.
Oh.
Yeah, so Dickie's a little bit jealous that Andy gets to perform a full 60-minute slot.
Dickie, but you're the star, the face. It's your comedy festival.
And we also have a local troupe, Mom's Girls. Yeah, they're performing on Saturday with an all-female sketch night. And yeah, so it should be a good one.
So these are, like, we've had Andy Jones on here, we've had Mom's Girls, and those are fantastic talent.
Yeah.
So who is Sketchfest for? And not in terms of, like, the acts performing, but who should be coming to Sketchfest?
Yeah, Sketchfest, we always say, is for everybody, because you can really find a bit of everything. Of course, there's kind of like a PG-13 kind of, a warning, I would say. But it's mostly if you love comedy, if you love, your community, if you love just getting out and seeing, like I said, crazy characters is the best way to describe it. A lot of our branding is just like trying to promote our crazy characters. So yeah, it's a lot of that. So I would say anybody in town, anybody who loves comedy, anybody who's kind of like a comedy nerd especially would love. But yeah, even if you just like to get out and want like a cheap night out, I mean, our tickets are start at $10.
Okay.
And it's a pay what you can, so it's super accessible.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. Theater's getting really expensive, and one of the mandates for us was just to do a kind of more accessible ticketing option. Yeah, so you can afford it in a harsh economy.
understand how important that is,
Yeah.
especially with today's cost of living.
Yeah.
So where can people get tickets?
Yeah, so you can get tickets at our website, nlsketchfest.ca. You can also get it through the LSPU Hall website, which
Okay.
is what we recommend through their show pass.
Okay.
If you follow us on social media, NL Sketchfest, you can just do it that way. And
Okay.
yeah, the tickets are right there. Yeah.
And so what time? So is this like an evening thing? Is this all day? Do we have like matinees on the weekend? What?
Yeah,
is the vibe?
so on Tuesday we have one show that
Okay.
starts at 7 o'clock, and that's our Newfound Sketch Night.
Okay.
And that's a bunch of new groups trying it for the
Okay.
first time or emerging, you know. Lots of like local faces that you would know through like comedy and theater and film and television and stuff like that are still performing that. But groups who are starting, so that's going to be on Tuesday. So that's an 8 o'clock show. And then the rest of the nights, we have 2 shows every night. We
Okay.
have 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
Okay, so
until
like great
Sunday.
time. So like get off work,
Yeah.
hit the.
For $20, you can see 2 shows a night. Isn't that
That's
cool?
like one movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
know.
NL Sketchfest is where we need to be.
Yeah.
For you particularly, why were you so excited to be part of bringing this back for another year?
It's a really important initiative for me. I think sketch comedy here has always been a cultural touchstone, let's say. It's really part of our foundation. Kind of woven into the fabric of Newfoundland, I think, is this love and appreciation for sketch comedy. Like I said earlier, from like wonderful Grand Band and Codco through Mark Critch, Rick Mercer, like all those folks started with sketch comedy, and it works here and the people really love it. So since theater's become a little bit like more expensive, we really wanted to make sure people could just get out and grab tickets, since theater really kind of struggled during the pandemic, and so that initiative still kind of carries through, that we want to get people out to see live theater and get off of their couches and watching, television and comedy on television, which is great. I do it, but we really want to encourage getting out, getting within the community.
And
hanging
spring
out.
has sprung, so that's like it's the
I
perfect
know.
time to leave your house.
It's perfect. It's really perfect, and it's like I said, it's just in the blood here. You know what I mean? And I really just want to just push the community more, and I know you do too, of course.
So I have to ask,
Yeah.
Dickie Bird, how did Dickie become the face? Not that your face is not lovely,
Yeah, so
Dickie.
lovely.
It is so lovely. How did Dickie become one of the faces for NL Sketchfest?
Yeah. Sorry. No, I can't say that. It's live TV. Okay. Yeah. So Dickie was hired by us, and we found Dickie in a McDonald's parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and find anything good? No, nothing. Anyway, but we found Dickie in a McDonald's parking lot,
Okay.
eating some fries, hanging out with some family members, and Dickie had just such a love for sketch comedy. We got in conversation, and they just reached out and wanted to be part of the festival. So we think Dickie is a great mascot for our festival.
And is Dickie like the only face for NL Sketchfest?
Yes, we do have some other characters, but they're not the main mascot.
They're not the main. Which is what's important, Dickie,
Yeah.
that you're the star
Exactly.
of this entire thing. And
Yeah.
we're really glad to have you. So, Dickie, is there any show that you're particularly excited to see? We know Andy Jones might have taken your spot, but is there acts that definitely appeal to you?
Oh, yeah. So Dickie's favorite show is the Newfound Sketch Night.
Okay.
Where Dickie really loves to see the emerging groups come in, and that's 10 groups in a 1 hour slot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot, and Dickie just loves the community and just likes to see people getting out there doing new things, and it's important to Dickie, I think, just to celebrate those who are getting up and just trying it. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
So, Dickie, I'm going to touch a semi-sensitive topic for you, but I'm going to pose it towards interests. Okay, so just deep breath.
Are you good?
During this next question. You have a snack. Okay.
Do your breathing exercises.
So, I know Andy Jones is doing a 60-minute set. What can we expect? Do you have any Are we going to drop any like spoilers, not
From
spoilers?
Andy's set?
Just so what we know. We know Andy is a whimsical individual. So
Yep.
what's the line? What's Andy's going to be talking?
Unfortunately, I can't give any information on it.
See, not even that bad, Dickie. It's okay.
Not even that bad. But what I can say is that it's going to be truly spectacular, I think. As you know, it's Andy. But Andy just has a love for the community and for pushing new sketch comedians and artists. So I really think it's going to be, just a truly great show by Andy. And all the other ones too. Yeah, really everybody's coming out. So these things kind of exist in North America.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these groups are really like, they travel from spot to spot. Like one of my favorite acts is Cam Wiley.
Yeah.
Cam's from Toronto. Cam is wildly absurd, but has almost toured almost every sketch festival and will be at ours this year again. And yeah, it's just gonna be weird. It's gonna be super silly, and yeah, unfortunately, I can't give more than that about Andy's unless you want. You probably don't. You probably can't say anything either. Hey, Andy didn't give you any.
I think Dickie's just going to make us wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth the wait.
The suspense.
We're here for it. For our viewers, again, when is the Sketch Fest? Where can we get tickets? And if we want to follow and find out more and people want to be part of next year. Yes, I'm calling next year's today. People want to be part of next year's Sketch Fest. Where do we find information? Yeah,
cool. So this year it's May 13th to 18th at the Hall, LSPU Hall, every night from Tuesday to Sunday. You can follow us on social media at NL Sketchfest. I'm looking at our social media person, that's right. NL Sketchfest, and that's Facebook and that's Instagram. We usually like to push people over to Instagram just because it's a bit easier to see the content that way. You can go to the Hall website to get your tickets.
Well, Dickie, was there any parting?
Is there any?
You know what, Dick? I'm sorry, my man. I'm sorry, my friend. We're going to get you a snack. Yeah. Folks, we're going to get you a snack. I want to thank you for joining us, Andrew. I want to thank you for joining us, Dickie. We're going to be right back, folks. I think we got to go get Dickie a snack because Dickie's famished. So we'll see you back in a few minutes.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Alice Mannion and Jody Rice, who are part of Avalon Dragon Boating. Ladies, thank you for joining me.
Ooh, thanks
for having us.
So for a lot of our viewers, this might be the first time they've heard about the Avalon Dragons. So I guess, Alice, what are the Avalon Dragons and how did they start?
Okay, well, we are a group of breast cancer survivors who dragon boat.
Okay.
And we started back in 2006. And we started by learning what dragon boating was all about, and then building a boat.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch, what is dragon boating for those who don't know?
Dragon boating is a sport where 20 people sit in a large canoe and they paddle.
Okay.
And it is a fabulous exercise. It is an amazing team building event and a lot of fun.
And Jody, what made you interested in being part of the Avalon Dragons?
What got me was back in 2022, someone was putting together a dragon boat team for the festival on on a support group for breast cancer survivors, and me being recently, I was diagnosed in 2019, so I was fairly new to the support group. They were putting together a team, and I said, that sounds like fun. I've always been very competitive, very physically fit, you know, and involved in fitness and that, and I said, this looks like fun, let's try something new.
Okay.
And so I signed up, I went out for Try It Day, and it was raining. And I said, this is crazy, what am I doing? Out on Octagon Pond, and I got home and I was like, that was the best thing ever. And I've been hooked, I've been involved ever since. I love the dragons, I love to talk about the dragons, and yeah, and it pushes you. There's a lot of, I've made some really good friends from the team. I always encourage anyone I know that's going through a breast cancer diagnosis or shortly after and wondering what do I do? I'm like, come paddle with us.
Absolutely.
You know, because that's what I did, and it was one of the best things I ever did. So yes.
I love that this is how you came together as a community, because something like a breast cancer diagnosis can be very heavy and life altering, and yet you found community and a wicked sport.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a sport. When you get in the boat, everything else is gone. You forget what's going on, you forget about cancer, you forget about treatments, you forget all about it, and you're in that boat and you're working with your friends to make that boat go on Octagon Pond.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the logistics for a second. 20 people is a lot of people to have in any vehicle, much less a boat where each person is responsible for paddling. And how do you make it work?
Practice.
Okay.
And there's a steers person, so we that are, you know, our amazing steers people that we have, volunteers that steer the boat, so we don't have to.
So like steer.
They steer the
the back.
direction. We don't have to
Okay.
actually turn the boat when we're paddling. So
Yeah, but
that
we all have
helps.
to be in time. We all have to put that paddle in the water together and take it out together and get ready for the next stroke.
So like you have to be synchronized.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, and that
absolutely.
takes practice, right?
That takes practice. Yeah.
And I'm going to ask a silly question. Has anyone ever lost a paddle in the middle of this?
No, I don't think so.
Come close. Come
Maybe
close.
come close.
It gets pretty slippery when it gets
When you
it's
get
wet,
lots
so
of
it's like you end up losing it, and you're like, hang on.
All right.
I almost lost my paddle.
Okay.
But not very often.
I was like, because you walked in with your paddle, and I was like, ooh, what is this magical thing? And I was expecting it to be like this super heavy thing.
No.
And like yours is like, I like it.
Super
It's light, but super
light.
cool.
Super light.
So going back a little bit now, I know when we introduced you, you're chair of the festival community.
I
What
am.
is the Dragon Boat Festival?
Well, the Dragon Boat Festival is our main fundraiser for the year.
Okay.
So we put together an awesome event. We invite teams from the community to come forth, and these teams don't paddle regularly. They basically, it's like a team building event. You, a group of friends, a group of co-workers, any kind of group can get together and they'll come to the pond. We will tell them what dragon boating is, show them how to dragon boat, put them on the water in a dragon boat, and we'll take them out there and show them how it's done. And then they come back for festival day.
Okay.
Yeah, and the teams keep coming back year after year because they have so much fun.
Okay.
And it's a festival atmosphere. It's not just on the water, it's on
like
the
a
land
full,
as well. It's a full
alright.
festival.
So is there more than one dragon boat in the water at the time, or?
At festival time, there
Yeah.
absolutely is. We
Okay.
generally race three.
Okay.
That's 3 boats abreast.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's a real competition.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask a vanity question, because when I've seen dragon, they look stunning as like just. Do you have a favorite boat?
Well, of course.
Okay.
We built a boat.
Okay.
Before we even got on the water, the
Yeah.
Avalon Dragons, we were approached by Bruce Whitelaw from the Marine Institute, and he said, would you like to build a dragon boat? And we said, sure. What does it look like?
Just yes, even before I know yes.
So we spent almost 2 years building this amazing wooden boat, and it is our flagship. It is our pride and joy, and yes, it glides on the water.
All right. So now I have to go to the festival to see this beautiful
Absolutely,
creature.
yes.
When is the festival?
The festival is mid-July this year.
Okay.
Normally it's in August, but this year, because of the Canada Summer Games, it's in July 19th. and that's a Saturday.
Okay.
And if we have too much wind, it'll be the 20th.
Okay, so you have not
We
a
have
rain
an
day, but a
alternate
wind day.
A wind
Yeah.
day.
Okay. So what can people expect from this festival? Who should come out? Who should be there?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we always have a kids area.
Okay.
So you'll have like a coloring contest.
Face
we have face painting. We have dragon tattoos. Beautiful. And we have other events geared towards children. Like in the past we've had Chinese letter writing for your name, and because the Chinese community does come out. We also have the amazing line dance that will be on at least one time during the day. And the Lieutenant Governor generally comes for our amazing carnation ceremony, which is to remember those that we've lost to breast cancer, to give, I guess, some recognition of those that are still fighting. And it's a pretty memorable event.
That's an important aspect of it too.
Absolutely.
So for people listening now who are like, I want to know more about how I get into a dragon boat, and if they can be part of the festival. How do they find out? How do they start prepping to hopefully get into a boat? Can they get into a boat this year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. They can go to our website, avalondragons.com. There's links there to our festival page. So you can sign up as an individual if you like, because if you don't have a team, we'll put you in a boat somewhere.
So
we'll find a spot for you.
So if I decide I want to paddle, okay.
Yep, we got you.
All
We're
right.
good. And or you can sign up as a team if you have a team, or you can join a team. If we usually have a family and friends boat.
Yep.
So if there's someone who wants to come and support the festival and also get in a dragon boat, they can also join a team.
And then for companies or let's say organizations who want to help with this cause, with the fundraising, how can they, are there roles for sponsors? Is there any way for them to contribute that way as well?
Yes, for sure. We're always
Absolutely.
looking for sponsors. We
Yes.
have, as a company, you can put a team in, so you can bring together your coworkers, your family, friends, whomever, and they can bear your name. Also, we have what we call race sponsors. So each of the races will have a name of a sponsor on it, and there's a certain amount and they'll get the advertising, they'll get their name out there, we'll give them posters for their workplaces. So it's a great way to help the Avalon Dragons as well as get your own name out there in terms of sponsorship. We're always looking for sponsors, for sure.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. And then for those who are listening who are either have been recently diagnosed or are survivors who are like, this community sounds like just the thing for me. How do I get involved? How do I find out if maybe paddling is my next new hobby? Where do they find you, and what can they expect if they become part of the Avalon Dragons?
Sure. Well, like I said, they can go to our website. There's a lot of information. There's blogs, there's FAQs, and everything else there. Also, our Facebook, we have a community Facebook group that you can go to. Anyone can reach out to us. I always say it's a support group. I didn't know I needed, because there's such a diverse group of women, but very inspirational, very resilient, and just kind of shows that there's life after breast cancer. That there's a good life after breast cancer, not just a life, and that there's a sisterhood, that brings us all together. Say it's a terrible thing to have to go through, but I say, the silver lining is these ladies. They've been fabulous. So you can find us on Facebook, find us on the internet. If anyone's looking for information, our email address is info@avalondragons.com. So anybody can reach out to us who's interested in joining or just getting some more information. Yep.
And I have you for about just one more minute. If there was a fun, like your most memorable moment of being in the boat, each of you, what would it be for you?
Mine would be last year. Last year's festival, we were in a boat and we raced against Magic Walk, and it was a boat, majority of men.
Okay.
Big, burly, they're super fast.
Yeah.
We trained really hard. We had a coach that pushed us, and we won it by a nose of a dragon. You can see it on our Facebook group. It was like
It was awesome.
it was like we won the Olympics.
As
In
it
that
did.
boat, it was the
It
best
was.
feeling ever.
It has
I
to
have
be.
to say, like that's probably my most memorable. It was the absolute best, and I can't wait to get back on the pond and get to those races again this year to try to do it all over again.
I'm rooting for you.
Yes,
And for you, what would it be?
It has to be that moment. I was in that boat.
Okay, so you were there.
I was there, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to go back, one of the, we have try-it days all the time. We used to have one day, but now you can come anytime we practice, Tuesdays, Thursdays, any new people, they can just come. Get in that boat with us.
You might see me there just because I want to prep before I get into actually paddling on festival day. So I want to thank you both so much for joining me, for talking about this important festival, and for the community you've created after something that could be so serious for individuals. So thank you so much. And I'll see you on festival day.
Absolutely. If not
We'll
before.
look for
If not before.
That's right.
And we'll be right back, everyone. I want to give a very special thank you to all of you for tuning in yet again, and I also want to give a very special thank you to Andrew from NL Sketchfest and to Dickie Bird for joining us, and a thank you to the ladies from Avalon Dragon Boating for telling us about the Dragon Boat Festival. I'll see you all again soon.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Calling all journalism students. Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
You could go from here to here. Get started. Apply for the Omni Scholarship now.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni Scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
My name is Matthew Rutledge. I'm a 60 scoop survivor, born in Red Lake. Was adopted from there to Toronto at the age of 4. A lot of our brothers and sisters, family members got separated from each other. That was the government's goal, to break that connection from brothers and sisters. Basically taking the Indian out of the child. Right now, they're still trying to find themselves. Originally, my birth name is Harvey Halverson. In my high school days, teens, I was trying to fit into society. I knew I was First Nations, but I didn't know who I was inside. I think later in life, I started that journey. I am proud, Anishinaabe man, of who I am now. I love life, who I am.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think